They're here. Kachunga, my friends. Kachunga, Kachunga. Welcome to Trev, the Rev, live feed show. Live feed show. I am Trev, the Rev, and I ain't no vicar. Welcome to the show. Well, I'll stop. If you enjoy the show, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't done so yet, and you wish to watch more of my vids, please subscribe. Please subscribe to the show. And when you want to know when the next video is coming out, all you got to do is ring my mail. I ring my mail, ding dong. Yes, Chandra, welcome to the show. And we're going to start off with a joke. And I'm going to tell the joke. It's, you see, a friend of mine went to a shop and bought a motorbike, and the motorbike was made out of wood. It was. And the seat was made of wood. It had a wooden handlebar. It had wooden wheels. It had a wooden frame. And it had a wooden engine. And it wouldn't start. Yeah. Anyway. So, yes, welcome to the show. That's the bad pun out the way. That's the moment the old tumbleweed goes across the screen. But there you go. So, a little while ago, a few episodes back, just a couple of episodes back, I discussed Atlantis, a place that it exists. Well, I thought I'd talk about another place that did once upon a time exist. And like Atlantis, this place has been lost in time. Lost in space. So are we ready? Before I go any further, I must make it known that Roz isn't here. She's finishing work. She'll be on her way home. She may join the show by going, oh, as she normally does, but she's not here at the moment. And Gizmo is outside. The show will not be invaded by Ginger Pussycat. It won't. No. Anyway, for decades, scientists offered wild theories about the fabled lost continent of Lemuria in the Indian Ocean. And in 2013, scientists actually found some evidence. Forget all you know about plate tectonics, evolution, and the study of DNA for a moment. Forget all about it. Back in the mid-1800s, a few scientists working from scant evidence decided there must have been a lost continent in the Indian Ocean, and they should call it Lemuria. On this lost continent, some even thought there once lived a race of now extinct humans called Lemurians. Well, if you're from a place called Lemuria, of course you're going to be called Lemurians. Who had 4 arms and enormous hermaphroditic bodies. Well, yeah. Nevertheless, are the ancestors of modern-day humans and perhaps almost lemurs. Okay. As absurd as all this sounds, the idea flourished for a time, both in popular culture and in corners of the scientific community. Of course, modern science, as long as it's debunked the idea of Lemuria altogether. But then, in 2013, Geologists discovered evidence of a lost continent, precisely where Lemuria was said to have existed, and the old theories started cropping up once again. Lemuria theories first became popular in 1864 when British lawyer and zoologist Philip Leclerc, he really sounds English, doesn't it? Philip Leclerc Skittler wrote a paper titled Mammals of Madagascar and had it published in the Quarterly Journal of Science. Skittler observed there are many more species of lemur in Madagascar than there were in either Africa or India, thus claiming that Madagascar was the animal's original homeland. Moreover, he proposed that what allowed lemurs to first migrate to India and Africa, Madagascar, logo was now long left. Sorry. How is it I don't yawn all day? The second I do a show, the yawning starts. Ah, you can tell it's live. You can tell it's live, can't you? Was now a long lost landmass stretching across the southern Indian Ocean in a triangular shape. Bermuda Triangle. This continent of Lemuria, Kepler suggested, touched India's southern port, southern Africa, and western Australia, and eventually sunk to the ocean floor. This theory came at a time when the science of evolution was in its infancy. Oceans of continental drift. Sorry, I told you, it comes on at the worst possible time. I do apologise. I'm trying not to yawn. Oh, it's coming on from nowhere. Right. Came at a time when science of evolution, find my space, was in its infancy. Notions of continental drift weren't widely accepted, and many prominent scientists were using land bridge theories to explain how various animals once migrated from one place to another. A theory similar to Slater's had even been proposed by French naturalist Etienne Geoffroy Saint-Hilaire 2 decades earlier. Skittler's theory gained some traction. So they thought there was a land bridge, for example, going from America to England. Really? Soon other noted scientists and authors took the Lemuria theory and ran with it. They ran so far away. Later in the 1860s, German biologist Merle Kell began publishing work claiming that Lemuria was what allowed humans to first migrate out of Asia, believed by some at the time to be the birthplace of humanity, and into Africa. Haeckel, sounds like people yawning, isn't it? Heckling it. Haeckel even suggested that Lemuria, aka Paradise, may have been the very cradle of humankind itself. As he wrote, bloody yawning! No! It might have been the very cradle of humankind itself, as he wrote in 1870. The probable primeval her or paradise is here assumed to be Lemuria, a tropical continent present lying below the level of the Indian Ocean. The former existence of which is a territorial period seems very probable from the numerous facts in animal and vegetable geography. With help from Haeckel, Lemuria theories persisted through the 1800s and into the early 1900s, often discussed along the myth of Muri Kandam, a proposed lost continent in the Indian Ocean that once housed a Tamil civilization. Just before modern scientists discovered ancient human remains in Africa, that suggested that continent was actually the cradle of humankind. This was also before modern climatologists understood how plate tectonics moved the one connected continents away from each other into the present form. Without such knowledge, many continue to embrace the notion of Lemuria, especially after Russian occultists, medium, and author Alina Blavatsky. I hate Russian names. I really do. They were so difficult to pronounce. This book proposed the idea that there was once 7 ancient races of humanity, and lemuria had been the home of one of them. This 15-foot tall, full-armed herbivoric race flourished alongside the dinosaurs. Plucker said French theories even suggested that these Lemurians evolved into the lemurs we have today. Afterward, Lemuria understandably found its way into novels, movies, and comic books well into the 1940s. Many people saw these works of fiction and wondered where authors and filmmakers got these fanciful ideas. Well, they got their ideas from scientists and writers about 75 years ago. Fast forward. Really? 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 Hello, darling. See, that was my Roz ringing the phone when I'm doing the live show. And she hanged up as I went to speak to her. I bet you she realised that I was doing the show. And she'll see this on the show. You can tell it's live, can't you? Now, fast forward to 2013. Any science, I might repeat what I wanted to find out where I was again. I apologise. However, geologists have now discovered traces of a lost continent in the Indian Ocean. Scientists found fragments of granite in the ocean south of India, along the shelf that extends hundreds of miles south of the country towards Mauritius. There's 2 people watching. Roz might be watching. If that's you, Roz, hello. And yes, I did tell people that you rang on the phone, you know. On Mauritius, geologists found zircon despite the fact the island had only came into being 2 million years ago, only coming in when, thanks to plate tectonics of volcanoes, it slowly rose out of the Indian Ocean as a small landmass. However, the zircon they found there dated to 3 billion years ago, eons before the island had even formed. What this meant, scientists theorised, was that zircon had come from a much older landmass that long ago sunk into the Indian Ocean. Sclater's story about Lemuria was true. Almost. Rather than call this discovery Lemuria, geologists named the proposed lost continent Morita, obviously because they couldn't really admit that they got the place wrong. Based on plate tectonics and geological data, Morita disappeared into the Indian Ocean around 84 million years ago, before I was born, in other words. No, I'm not that old. When this region of Earth was still turning into the shape it holds today. And while this generally lines up with what Sclater had once claimed, the new evidence puts the notion of an ancient race of Lemurians that evolved into lemurs to rest. They didn't really, they didn't really de-evolve into lemurs. Really, I thought, really there, really. The lemurs didn't evolve in Madagascar until about 54 million years ago, when they swam. They swam the island from mainland Africa, which was closer to Madagascar than it is now. Nevertheless, Sclater and some of the other scientists of the mid-1800s were partially right about Lemuria, despite their limited knowledge. A lost continent didn't suddenly sink into the Indian Ocean, vanished without a trace. But long ago, there was something there, something that is now gone forever. So there you have first of the subjects that I'm talking about today. Lemuria. Do you think this place existed? Personally, I do. I really do think Lemuria existed. There's no reason why not. It was one of 2 continents that disappeared into time. And in the upper levels of our dimensional planes where there's no time, Lemuria still exists today. In you go. It's like Atlantis still exists today. So what's next? What's next, you ask me? What's next, you ask me? What's next? Well, I thought, therefore I will. I will discuss some ancient sites that people think were built by aliens. Woo! Planet Earth. That sounds like a Andran song, doesn't it? Planet Earth. Planet Earth is home to some spectacular relics from bygone eras, constructions that seem to defy the technical capabilities of their time, either because they're too big, too heavy, or too complex. As such, some suggest the ancient builders of the Egyptian pyramids, the Nazca lines, and others were following an extraterrestrial instruction manual. Perhaps the hands that crafts these weren't really of this world. To be sure, it's fun to think about whether aliens have visited Earth. After all, humans are on the threshold of expanding our reach into space, and places like Mars are in our sight. The truth is, there's no evidence suggesting that aliens have ever been here. And invoking a supernatural explanation for some of the most monumental of human achievements being skipping over the fascinating ways in which prehistoric civilization managed to make some of the largest and most enigmatic constructions on Earth. Sacsayhuaman is the first one we're talking about. Outside the old Inca capital of Cusco, a fortress called Sacsayhuaman rests in the Peruvian Andes. Really, I can't. Pronunciation is out the window. People who watch the show know this already. In fact, they love it when I come up with really complicated names and stuff, because my translation just goes down the toilet. From enormous stones that have been chiselled and stacked together like a jigsaw puzzle. Some say Sacsayhuaman could be the work of an ancient civilization that had little help from my interstellar friends. 1,000-year-old interlocking fortress walls are made of rock that weigh as much as 360 tons each and were carried more than 20 miles before being lifted and fitted to place with laser-like precision. How an ancient civilization accomplished such a feat of engineering is a fun little problem to solve. Turns out the Inca were adept at building houses and fortified complexes as they were at watching the sky and keeping I was going to say calculators, calendars. In fact, Sacsayhuaman isn't the only example of this intricate masonry. Similar walls exist throughout the Inca Empire, including one in Cusco, where a 12-angle stone has been carefully wedged into place. More recently, archaeologists have uncovered traces of the rope and lever system Inca used to transport stones from their quarries to their cities, a system that relied on strength and ingenuity rather than alien architecture. Next, it's the Nazca lines. On a high and dry plateau, some 200 miles southeast of Lima, more than 800 long straight white lines are etched into the Peruvian desert, seemingly at random. Joining them are 300 geometric shapes and 70 figures of animals, including a spider, monkey, and a hummingbird. The longest of the lines runs straight as an arrow for miles. The biggest shapes stretch nearly 1,200 feet across and are viewed from the air. Scientists suspect the Nazca drawings are as much as 2 millennia old, and because of their age, size, and visibility from above and mysterious nature, the lines are often cited as one of the best examples of alien handiwork on Earth. Otherwise, how would an ancient culture have been able to make a huge design in the desert without being able to fly, and why? Turns out it's rather easy to understand the how. Called geoglyphs, these enigmatic designs are made from removing the top rust-coloured layer of rocks and exposing the brighter white sand underneath. The why is a bit tougher to comprehend. First studied in the early 1900s, the designs were initially suspected to be aligned with constellations or solstices. The more recent work suggests the Nazca lines point to ceremonial or ritual sites related to water and fertility. In addition to being visible from the air, shapes can be seen from surrounding fields. Next, Egyptian pyramids. Outside Cairo in Giza, Giza. The most famous of Egypt's pyramids rise from the desert. Built more than 4,500 years ago, the pyramids at Giza are monumental tombs where ancient queens and pharaohs are buried. But how exactly did the Egyptians build these things? The Great Pyramid is made of millions and millions and millions of precisely hewn stones, weighing at least 2 tons each. Even with today's cranes and other construction equipment, building a pyramid as big as that of Pharaoh Khufu would be a formidable challenge. And then there's the astronomical configuration of the pyramids, which said to align with the stars in Orion's belt, as well. Alien theorists often point to the fact that these 3 pyramids are in way better shape than others built centuries later. Never mind the amount of work that's gone into preserving them over the past several centuries. So are Egypt's pyramids artifacts of aliens? Not exactly. It's true that scientists aren't quite sure how the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids, and especially how they did it so quickly. There's ample evidence that these tombs are work of thousands of earthly hands. Next, a place in the country where I'm near, Stonehenge. A huge circular stone, some weighing as much as 50 tons, that's a lot of stone, sits in the English countryside outside Salisbury, known as Stonehenge. The Neolithic monument inspired Swiss author Erich von Däniken to suggest it was the model of the solar system. It also functioned as an alien landing pad. After all, how else could these massive stones have ended up hundreds of miles from their home quarry? No one knows exactly the meaning of Stonehenges, as with the other sites in this collection, the explanation is not aliens. Instead, scientists have demonstrated it's actually possible to build such a thing using technology that would have been around 5,000 years ago, where the earliest structures at the site were built. And now it appears as though the stones are aligned with solstices and eclipses, suggesting that Stonehenge builders were at least keeping them in the heaven, even if they didn't come from above. Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan, meaning the city of the gods, is a sprawling ancient city in Mexico, best known for its pyramidal temples and astronomical alignments. But more than 2,000 years ago, Teotihuacan, age and size and complexity can make it seem otherworldly. It's very much the work of humans. Scientists suspect that over centuries a mix of cultures, including Maya, Zapotec, and Mixtec, a city that could house more than 100,000 people. With its murals, tools, transportation system, and evidence of advanced agriculture practices, Teotihuacan is often considered much more technologically developed that should have been possible in pre-Aztec Mexico. By far, the most well-known of Teotihuacan building is the massive Pyramid of the Sun. One of the largest such constructions in the Western Hemisphere, the pyramid's curious alignment is believed to be based on calendrical cycles. I got there eventually with that one. Next we go, Easter Island. Enigmas surrounding the Moa Easter Island's fleet of large stone figures pretty much follow the same narrative as other sites described here. How in the world did the Rapa Nui make these figures more than 1,000 years ago? And how did the Moai end up on Easter Island? Carved in stone, nearly 900 human figures are sprinkled among the flanks of the island's extinct volcanoes. The figures average 13 feet tall and weigh 14 tons and appear to have been chiseled from solid volcanic tuff. Found in the Reino Riku quarry, there more than 400 statues are still in various states of construction, with some completed figures awaiting transportation to their intended resting place. The reason for carving the Moa are mysterious. Although they were likely sculpted for religious reasons, it is not exactly clear what happened to the stone carved in Rapa Nui. A leading theory suggests a civilization succumbed to the environmental disaster of their own making, which is something that could have been prevented had ancient aliens bestowed their infinite wisdom upon the culture. Next, we go somewhere a bit further away. A bit further away. The face on Mars. If Elon Musk has his way, humans will be capable of visiting the face on Mars sometime this century. Spotted by the Viking 1 orbiter in 1976, I was 6 years old then. The so-called face is nearly 2 miles long and is in a region called Cydonia, which separates the smooth plains of the Martian north from the more cratered terrain in the south. At the time, scientists dismissed the face as shadow play, but over the decades it became a favourite amongst those who suspect aliens with a penchant for building things have been visiting the solar system. In 2001, NASA's Mars Global Surveyor took another good look at the face using a much higher resolution camera and saw no face, or so we've been told. Turns out that what happened to be a face is just a other boring old Martian mess, kind of like the landforms that litter the US Southwest. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be fun to visit, would it? So there you go. 7 places around the planet and other planets that people believe we've been to. And on that note, did you enjoy facts I brought out today? Did you enjoy that? If there's anything you'd like me to cover, please let me know. Please let me know. Just leave a comment up on the video. I have no problem with that. Just let me know. Let me know. Tell me what you've enjoyed. Tell me what you didn't like. And if you've enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already and you'd like to see more of my shows, please subscribe down below. And if you want to know when the videos are coming out, just ring that bell. Ring that bell. This is Trev the Rev in an Ain't No Vicar signing off. Until next week. Chibble up, my friend. Chibble up. Bye bye.